thinking about how far I've come with my lessons in love, in relationships, with family, friends, coworkers, and romantic mate. And I was thinking, what are some of the old school falling in love and breakup practices that I have shifted away from and learned, or as some people say, broke away from. And I want to give you a quick summary, and maybe this will help some of you that have had these experiences and you've transitioned, or you're like, man, I'm working on shifting and changing myself. And so this is what I have for you. I'm going to define for you my definition of broken. Broken just simply means separated from. My old school definition of broken, and I feel it's important to share, my old school definition of broken meant that I could never heal. Broken meant I was never good enough for anybody. Broken meant that I can't look forward. I can never see what is in the future. Broken means that I don't deserve. Broken means that I don't have the ability to draw in what I desire. Those were all the old school terminologies that I used to hold on to. Sorry about that. Let me pull this up. That I used to hold on to when I would go through a tumultuous breakup, right? Let's talk about the process of falling in love first that I used to have, right? Falling. Uh, it reminds me of the Alicia Keys song, I Keep on Falling in and out of love. And when you're falling in love, for Tina, old school Tina, right? It would be the physical attraction first, and then it would be the energetic connection, and then it would be the sex, and then it would be me trying to transition somebody into who I wanted them to be, and then it would transition to falling out of love and not understanding why am I not good enough, and those type of thoughts and practices. I began to compromise and sacrifice my happiness to plead and beg the person not to leave me. And then once the person got tired of me begging them to stay with them, what do I need to do, right? Tell me what to do. Once I would come out of that practice, I had to make sure that I 100% gave them my all till my cup was empty, and then fed up. And then once I was fed up, then I'd be like, you get out of here. You don't love me. And then when they would get ready to leave, I'd be like, don't leave me. Because in my mind, I didn't think I could find somebody else. And I went through this through a series of marriages and relationships and marriages and relationships. This was old school Tina, right? So during the breakup process, I would lose appetite. I would feel pain and discomfort in my stomach. I wouldn't want to get up. I would only get up to go to work and then come home, and I would cry all day, and I would wonder what it was that I did wrong, right? This old school Tina, I love her so much. But I would wonder all of these things. And then because I did not take the time to figure those things out, when the next person came along that I was physically attracted to, that oh my gosh, our energy is just connected. And oh my God, the sex can keep me. Okay. And then I would repeat the process over and over again, right? It wasn't until fast forward, because you got to realize, I started my idea of what dating was in junior high, which most of us get kind of introduced to that, right? In junior high. And so from junior high all the way up until 18, that's when the dating shift happened for me, because I had a huge change of learning who I am in 2015, but I didn't transition the dating part until 2018, right? Um, so the old school practices continued, right? So fast forward to 2018, that's when I discovered, through a person that was in my life at that time, I went through another breakup. But this breakup, let me tell you, this breakup hurt. Now, all breakups hurt, right? But this is the breakup that I actually saw myself through the process of breaking up. And I also saw myself um inflict suffering onto those that cared about me with the breaking up process. And that's a story for another day. But I will fast forward and say one day I was crying and boohooing and like I was just and my friend at the time said, "Oh my God, he's never coming back. Just leave him alone." And I was like, oh my God. Like, I couldn't even cry no more. I couldn't even focus on it. She was like, "Focus on you," and slammed the phone down. My little feelings was hurt. I just didn't know how to take that. I didn't know what to do. And at that point, I said, I have to learn how to focus. I have to learn how to date myself. I have to learn how to love myself. And that was in 2018. And I started going through that transition. What I learned through that transition, it took about a year. But what I learned was staying with somebody, and this is the breakup part, old school, right? Staying with somebody and inflicting sacrifice and suffering of your happiness for someone who can no longer relate to you, that's not there for your highest good anymore. Um, and pouring out your all and emptying out your cup is not the way to go, right? What I learned in conversion of that energy was what needs to happen is to love and appreciate the experience that you got with the person, learn from it, move forward, create new boundaries, and learn how to attract what you desire by being simply who you are. And sometimes it's going to take a while, because while you're in the process of being who you are, there's going to be some silence. There's going to be some alone time. There's going to be some lonely time. And it's not because you're not getting what you want, but it is because you are getting what you want. It is because you are making those changes. And it's going to take a while for that to cycle through. Now, you can be impatient if you want, and that's okay, because I was also impatient. But during the impatient process, what you're going to learn is, if you choose not to release someone in love and you choose to empty out your cup, it's going to take you that much longer to attract what you desire, or continue to attract the same type of people that you want. There is no particular healing time limit. Some people are like, man, you need to go years. No, I don't think you need to go years. I think you know yourself. If you want to start dating next week, date next week. You want to start dating in a year, date in a year. If you want to say forget it and I just want it to organic come to me, that's good. There is no right and wrong way. But one thing I do know is when you learn to release in love before the emotional damage happens, like when you see that the deal breakers are not being met, when you see that you are not able to move forward with said person, be it family, friend, coworker, romantic mate, no matter what the position is, then it's time to create boundaries. If the boundaries are not set, then it's time to step back and release the person in love. And it's really simple. It's really simple to release in love, right? The person on the other end, in my last experience, when I had my I'll say I had my test, right, to see if I was going to keep everything in place. I failed it. That was in 2020. And then in 2022, I decided that I am going to just take my time and actually get to know people. So no longer is looking good enough, the energetic connection enough, the sex just enough, but it has to be genuine connection overall. We have to be able to be aligned. And if we are not aligned spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually, and financially, all of those aspects, then we are both not going to be happy. So, what I'm learning is by releasing in love, it allows me the ability to I got distracted. ADHD. By releasing in love, it allows me the ability to focus on the new things that I desire and want to bring into my life. The other thing I have to learn is patience for the time that it's going to come in. So anytime I start feeling as though old school breakup habits are trying to come back, being regret, being the person did me this way and stuff, which I really don't have any more of that. But if there are some things that I used to have come back, this person didn't, they hurt me, and I start focusing on that, then I focus, which means progressively move forward with learning how to create a new boundary for myself. So I just want to share those practices of old school practices of falling in love and the old school practices of breakup style, and now the new practices and for receiving love, and the new practices for releasing people in love when it comes to breakups with family, friend, co-workers, or romantic mate, when it comes to falling in love or embracing love, having agape love with family, friends, co-worker, romantic mate. That's what I have. I just want to share with you guys while it's on my mind, because I have to do that. I have to share while it's on my mind. I love you guys very much. Everybody knows I'm like heart emoji. What are some old school love practices and some old school breakup ways that are no longer serving you that you used to have? Or maybe you're creating boundaries for? And put it in the comments. And like people say, like and share and subscribe. Give me your feedback. I'm the actual person that likes your feedback. Like, I want to hear, we can grow together. Teacher students. You teach, I'm the student. I teach, you're the student. I love you guys. Have an awesome, amazing day. Be wonderful and be great. Bye.